We let this clown organization, Klutch, come in here. Many of us knew what was coming. Run amok, bamboozle us. And then now the trinkets of the Mamba Mentality are we don't know where it is no more. We let them come in. We let them trade away our young bucks that Kobe had his claws on, where he put infused a little Mamba Mentality into them. We got rid of them. They're all doing whatever they're doing now.
People are more concerned about everything else than an actual partnership. And I mean, I have a great relationship, and we had and continue to have like I see people say, they don't run the Lakers. We never ran the Lakers.
What it do? Welcome to the J-Boy Sports Podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss anything that we're pushing out. Let's jump right into this. So, Kobe Bryant's influence, that Mamba Mentality, versus the Klutch influence, which is what Lakers fans have been suffering through for the last 8 years. We hear all the nonsense, all the crap, all the garbage that people are spelling. Now, you're just a Kobe fan. You're not a real Laker fan. Let me tell you something about the Lakers, brother, even though I've only been watching for the past 8 years just because of LeBron, and that's all I care about. But I know everything. How are you not a Laker fan, but you were a fan of Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? I never even saw them play. I'm just a fan because I watched the Lakers my whole life. How do you know guys like Mark Madsen, Trevor Ariza, Josh Powell, who else? Sasha Vujacic, Ronny Turioff was on the team. I loved Ronny. Like, come on, man. But we're not Laker fans. The madness has to stop. That's why you guys have to watch this video to really understand. Even if you're not a Laker fan or a fan of Kobe Bryant or anything like that, or Magic or Kareem or Shaq or any Jerry West, none of those guys. At the end of the day, what you have to realize is there is a different influence that has poisoned, like a cancer, the Lakers. And this is what Lakers fans have been talking about, but you guys don't want to listen because you're too far in the wrong direction, right? When you talk about LeBron, it's almost like politics, but you also have to talk about Klutch Sports because they go hand in hand. Together, they are a problem. And if you're a Laker fan and you are under the Mamba Mentality influence, but even before Kobe, the influence of Magic, Kareem, James Worthy, Byron Scott, right? These guys were pillars, Jamal Wilkes, they were pillars of what it meant to be a Laker. So we're going to go over some things to help explain that. But first of all, you got to check out what Rich Paul said here. And before we jump into that, I just want to show you this quickly. Please check out this video after this. Jason Kidd was talking trash about this Kobe versus LeBron practice story. Like, we never saw Kobe Bryant playing against LeBron before and giving them business one-on-one. Make sure you check the video out after this one. Let's listen to Rich Paul so you can start to see what he's talking about with the we're not influencing the Lakers pitch.
They don't run the Lakers. We never ran the Lakers. That was never a thing. By the way, if I ran the Lakers, I would have been a part of the deal and got some of that moolah, right? So I think people just say things just to say it on most platforms.
No, I understand why people think that, Rich. I understand why, because if you were the Lakers at the time LeBron got there, it would make a lot of sense. I used to say this on TV. When the Lakers would push back, I used to say, guys, if I'm running, I say it on the radio in LA, if I'm running the Lakers, and I think that Klutch can help bring LeBron here, give them what they want.
No, but see,
but it makes sense from a distance.
I understand what you're saying, but the reality of it is, people are more concerned about everything else than an actual partnership. And I mean, I have a great relationship, and we had and continue to have like. I see people say, they don't run the Lakers. We never ran the Lakers.
All right, it just kind of ties in there. So he's saying we never ran the Lakers. Oh, really? What about the coach that we have now? Right? So I just find let's just go through a couple of ironic things here, right? There's a few ironic things, Rich. The Lakers had Luke Walton. He was trash. Fine, have no problem with that. Got Frank Vogel. But before we got Frank Vogel, or around that time, I don't remember exactly, LeBron James got the Lakers to trade everybody they had for your Klutch client, Anthony Davis. All the young boys gone. A lot of us like the young boys. We didn't love the fact that we had LeBron coming in, but remember, those young guys still had the influence of Kobe Bryant. Kobe had his claws on those guys, and he was still alive at that time. So they probably still could go to him and be like, Kobe, what should I do? Julius Randle talks about it all the time. Brandon Ingram talks about having, spent time with Kobe. D'Angelo Russell definitely talks about it. Larry Nance talks about it. All right? Those guys, Kobe had his claws in them. So they knew what this really meant. Even though they were losing, they knew what it meant. They knew what it meant to be a Laker. Then you bring in LeBron. LeBron gets all those guys traded out, gets rid of them. Brings in LeBron and Klutch. They bring in AD. Then they get Frank Vogel somewhere around there. They win a chip in the bubble, whatever. We'll talk about that another day. Then LeBron and Klutch want to switch stuff up. They want to bring in Russ. Russ does not go well with LeBron and him at all. He's not a shooter. He needs the ball. LeBron's not a shooter. He needs the ball. Failure. They bring in Carmelo, all these people, and it messes up the team, all because he had an influence. You can't sit here and tell me that him and Klutch had no influence on what they did. They fired Frank Vogel, brought in Darvin Ham. Then used Darvin Ham as a scapegoat, him and Russ, and then brought in his podcast partner, JJ Redick. Then together, they then drafted his son, who's garbage as far as NBA terms. He can go to LA Fitness, probably ball out, but is garbage in the NBA. And again, I don't feel bad about saying that. He's a grown man. He is fine. He's a millionaire. He's not gonna be hurting because I said he's not good at basketball in the NBA. I'm not good at basketball in the NBA. You're not gonna see me crying. So cut it out if you're one of those people that's like, oh, he's a grown man. Okay, I gave him some time. But you forced the Lakers to draft your son who's not that good. You forced the Lakers to do this Ken Griffey thing. And then when they didn't want to give you an extension, you decided I'm just going to take the $50 million anyway and sit this out and have nowhere to go at the end of the season. Then I'm going to sit out at the beginning of the season because I think they're not as good without me, but somehow Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves are cooking without me. Even DeAndre Ayton is averaging like dang near 20 and 10. So I got to come back now to make sure that they don't forget about me and make the team worse. You can't make this stuff up. That's the influence. Rich Paul's talking about I would have got more moolah. I don't know what he's talking about with that. When LeBron gets paid, he gets paid. When AD got paid, he gets paid. I don't know what he's talking about when it comes to that. I'm not even going to pretend to analyze that. What annoyed me, though, about Max Kellerman and why Max Kellerman consistently annoys me is because he's one of those goblins I be talking about. You don't know anything about Laker fans. Maybe. I'm guessing you don't. Not maybe. You don't. If you just said give them whatever they want so they could bring in LeBron, we don't like LeBron. Like we never did. There's a few outliers here and there that wanted to give him a shot. I'm going to be honest. I never really wanted to give him a shot, but I did because I didn't want to look crazy. And now, literally that lasted for like 2 seconds. And then after that, I was like, yeah, he's already trying to do this stuff I hate watching him do other places. And I don't like it. I don't like it. He don't care about the fans. Kobe cared about the fans. He don't care about the fans. He don't care about playing hard for the fans. He's going to bring that same nonsense over here. Bring his corny influence and Klutch's influence. Max Kellerman, give them whatever they want. No, Max, that's what you want to do. Because you're poverty-stricken. You are a fan of somebody that's not going anywhere. We're Laker fans. We are royalty. We have watched the hardest working man claw his way to success. You guys never did that, so don't tell us what we want and what we give. We're not giving anybody whatever they want. The Mamba mentality is what we want to keep. We want that influence. So, and if you think I'm joking, check out what LeBron had to say about winning basketball in the playoffs. Listen to this mentality.
Me and this guy have been playing together for 6 years. We've been to the mountaintop. We've been close to the mountaintop. We've played a lot of games. We know what it takes to win. We know what it takes to win a championship and how, damn near perfect you got to be. That's not like something that's so crazy to obtain. I've been a part of it 4 times where you have to have almost perfect basketball to win. you know, and I've done it with him. So I'm not a guy that you should ask that, because I don't feel a way about anybody that don't want to strive to be as close to perfect as possible. And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
It's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball. That's LeBron and Klutch's influence. It's just basketball, you know. Winning, losing, you got to be close to perfect. You have to be almost perfect to win. And I don't feel any type of way about people that, you know, don't want to get to that level to win. I mean, it's just basketball. Is that the influence that you guys want for your team? As a Lakers fan, I don't want that. I don't want that on any team I root for. I don't care if I'm playing at the park with my son, who is 5, all right? If he says, Dad, it's just basketball, I'm going to be like, yeah, but you also need to play to win, son. You know what I mean? Like, you give it your best, and if your best you don't win, then yes, life moves on. It continues. But the idea is you want to win, especially when the stakes are high and there's a lot of people rooting for you and you're rooting for yourself. Like, it's not just something you brush off like it doesn't. It matters. You know, it does matter. There's a balance there when you're a kid. But again, I did a GOATS video, and I was talking about when you listen to Mike, Kobe, Tom Brady talk, there's a little bit of psycho in these guys. Yes, it's psychotic when you don't like losing and you want to win no matter what. It's psychotic, but that's why they get the praise. They don't get praise because they're like normal people when it comes to winning. If you're like a normal dude when it comes to winning and you're nonchalant about everything, then you don't deserve any extra praise. But Klutch wants the praise without the work, without the literally, you got to be a little they don't want to be a little psychotic. They want to take it easy, be laid back, just get everything free, just say things and automatically it works for them. That's not the influence we want in the Lakers. That's not the influence that we want. So you know what? Let me let you listen to the influence that we do want.
That weren't as gritty as you were. How did you deal with that? How did you set your expectations, knowing that you were so far out there? And how did you deal with the players that you played with? You know, knowing that they were still kind of somewhere on the spectrum, but you were on the top of it.
Good question. It's a great question. My response might sound a little tough, but I kill him, I bury him. You know, it's you know, tolerance for that and the kind of culture that the Laker organization stood for winning championships is not tolerated. You're going to show up to play, and you're going to lollygag through this scrimmage, through this drill. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to let you know I beat you. I'm going to want you to reconsider your professional life choice. You know, and for the most part, people will say, okay, that doesn't make a great teammate. Well, I'm not here to be a great teammate. I'm here to help you win championships. So there's a difference. And, you know, fortunately for us, for me, you know, we had an organization that it was championships or nothing. And they were really good about identifying that and bringing players in here that had that competitive streak and getting rid of the ones that did not. If I got to fight to get you in the gym, that's a problem. That's a problem. You want players that are gym rats, players that want to be in the gym, that want to work. And then from there you build on top of that. But if you're lazy, man, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to deal with you. You don't make me feel dumber. You know, you're going to lower my level. I don't think so. You can go over there. There's plenty of teams in here where you'll fit right in.
Well, you mentioned
at the time they were right down the hall from us. So they were.
The last thing that Kobe said on that, and that I absolutely love, there's plenty of teams where that fits right in for you. we're going to discuss some of the other stuff Kobe said, but I didn't even realize that. A lot of my stuff I do off the cuff. And one of the things that I really just liked about that I wasn't even thinking about, I'd be writing stuff down while I'm listening like you are. So I remind myself to hit these points. But one of the things I wasn't thinking about, that if you want to be like that, if you want to take things laid off, nonchalant, it's not about winning, it's about being a good teammate. It can be about both, by the way, because just like a parent, when it comes to a child, teaching people discipline and hard work and holding them to a standard actually does make them a better person. It does. People don't want to admit that in 2025 because there's a lot of soft people, but that's really the truth of it. He said if you don't want to be that, and you don't want to play with that level of intensity or have that level of intensity with your practice or whatever else you're doing, then by all means, there's another team up the hall that's used to losing. You can go lose with them. But that's not what we do here. We want championships here. Kobe also said, I killed them. I will bury them. Practice, scrimmage, whatever it is. So when you people that are not Laker people come here and say, it's just the All-Star game, when Kobe's cooking LeBron's grits, no. I will kill them. I will bury them. That's what he said. He didn't say when. He didn't say sometimes. He said all the time, I will kill them, I will bury them. Make them want to quit. Make them want to reconsider their life choices. You never watched Kobe Bryant do that to LeBron James? You never watched it? And Klutch and their little influence? Kobe was out for blood no matter what. All the time. Tolerance for that, there's no tolerance for losing. That's not tolerated. That's what Kobe said. I will make you reconsider your professional life choices. And then afterwards, they clapped. You heard it in the background. They clapped. And again, like you said, I'm not here to be a great teammate. You understand? I'm not here to be a great teammate. I'm here to be a great champion and a great winner. And like I said, you can be a great teammate in the process of that because you're holding people to a standard and you're making them better. Kobe's teammates that got that and understood that, love them. Sasha Vujacic, Lamar Odom, Pau Gasol, Derek Fisher, Rick Fox, Robert Horry, Shaq. Even though him and Shaq had problems, he knew what he had when it came to the killer in Kobe. And they kind of were like, pause no diddy, a marriage, and they worked together. Shaq was maybe a little bit more laid back and lenient, a little funny. Kobe was business all the time. And they figured it out to 3 straight championships. So what are we talking about here, man? What are we talking about? The influence of Kobe and what he brought. And it wasn't even just Kobe. Kobe's influence came from the Lakers before him. People talk about Mike a lot, but remember, Kobe had Magic, Kareem, Worthy, Byron Scott in distance of him, right here. It wasn't just Mike that he was listening to and taking that championship aura from. Those guys were champions before Mike. This Laker thing is deep, brother. It's deep. But we let this clown organization, Klutch, come in here. Many of us knew what was coming. Run amok, bamboozle us. And then now the trinkets of the Mamba Mentality are we don't know where it is no more. We let them come in. We let them trade away our young bucks that Kobe had his claws on, where he put infused a little Mamba Mentality into them. We got rid of them. They're all doing whatever they're doing now. A lot of them are playing pretty good. I want to check out one final thing here, because it's not... Look at the overall effect of what Klutch has done. Now they brought in this hypocrite, J.J. Redick. And listen to him.
The trend now. I've seen the trend for years. What's the trend? The trend is always making excuses. It's always throwing your team under the bus. They lose to Memphis. Oh, it's his players' fault. Memphis was playing G League guys and two-way guys. There's never accountability with that guy.
It's a matter of making the choice. And too often we have guys that don't want to make that choice. And it's pretty consistent who those guys are. And so Saturday's practice, I told the guys, it's going to be uncomfortable. The meeting is going to be uncomfortable. I'm not doing another 53 games with this.
I've seen the...
Like 6 points off that. Doncic thought he was fouled. Looked like there was contact there. Saved by Smith. Adams has it. Shepherd to Thompson. Thompson inside. Lays it up. A bit better to get to the other side. Here he goes again. Came up short. He's upset. Very upset. Thought he got fouled. Looked like there was some contact. Shepherd up top of Şengün. Şengün kicks it out. Eason wide open. Sets, fires. Can't hit. Laravia does a good job holding off Adams, but he touched it last. LeBron's freshman. Like 6 points.
All right. JJ Redick is up here being a hypocrite, talking about Doc Rivers, and he can't get his, not doing what he needs to do and take accountability. Now he's blaming players for not paying defense when he probably can't hold LeBron accountable because that's his daddy. That's who brought him in. Can't hold Luka Doncic accountable because he's not holding LeBron James accountable. Nobody in the Lakers organization really is going to be whole and stable until LeBron's gone. Because then and maybe then only can you start holding people accountable. All the Luka Doncic stuff about why they let him go too, the jury's not out on Luka. I'm going to do a separate video just about Luka and whether or not his Mamba mentality is going to be on point. But Luka doesn't play any defense. LeBron doesn't either. But Luka also doesn't play any defense. And that worries me because I watched Kobe play offense and defense. I did not watch Magic and Kareem and Byron Scott and James Worthy and them live. That was before my time. But I mean, when I hear them talk, they don't talk like, oh yeah, we're just gonna let everybody score. They were knocking people out the sky. Call that defense or call it not defense. At least they cared. Now guys don't care. Luka don't care. He lets people run right by him. That's not Mamba mentality. That's not Kobe's influence on the team. You understand what I'm saying? And that's really what this video is about. When you don't have the right influences, people don't do what they're supposed to do. They don't act the way they're supposed to act. They don't carry themselves the way they're supposed to carry themselves. You need somebody who doesn't give a dang about people being upset, their feelings, and just says, this is how we do it. We're going to do it this way, and it is what it is. And if I have to be the bad guy, you can hate me all you want. I'm here to win championships. I'm not here to be a good teammate. I'm not here to be a nice GM that you love. I'm not here to be a nice coach that you love. I'm here to win championships. If you're not here to win championships, you care about stuff outside of basketball, manipulating stories, faking injuries, flopping, whatever else you're doing. If you're a Klutch, then you need to get out. And they will get out at the end of the season. They're out of here, right? Because of this stuff. So I feel like this video is important. As a Laker fan, you got to watch this all the way through and understand why are we struggling with all of this? Because the wrong influence has been seeping in, poisoning our organization. The ones of us that were primarily coming into this thing, like with the Kobe and even with the Magic in them, this is not what you signed up for. This is not what you've seen in your lifetime. If you were old enough to watch Magic, you had Magic, then you had Magic and Kareem, you had Kobe and Shaq. You're not used to this. Phil Jackson and them, Pat Riley. Why do you think you don't see, why do you think the Heat are an organization that everybody gives credit to? Why do you think you don't see Phil Jackson no more? Because the truth is, people in Klutch and stuff they can't talk to Phil Jackson because Phil Jackson's going to tell you the truth. This influence sucks. This isn't what I was doing when I was here. So that's why this video was made. There's two influences. And the influence I grew up on, that I became an adult with, that I, appreciated my whole life, was that Kobe, Mamba mentality influence, Phil Jackson, Shaq, Derek Fisher. We had Jerry West for a long time. Magic was around. Dr. Bus. That was the influence of champions. This new influence, Jerry West is gone. Even though he wasn't with the organization, he still spoke out sometimes about things he didn't like. Magic, I think, is back now, but we'll see. He might not take over till the end of this season. Kobe, R.I.P., he's gone. And then now what do we have now? Who is around that really was there when we were at our apex? We're not at our apex right now. We're in the slums. Who's going to bring back that Mamba mentality? Who's going to step up to that challenge? That's the question I have. So with that said, we're going to end the video. Truly appreciate you for listening this long. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Click that to all so you don't miss any of our videos. You should subscribe. If you've been here this long and you watch that much of this video, it matters to you. If you're a Laker fan and it matters to you, you need to watch this. If you're a Kobe fan and life matters to you, you need to click on this. If you care about basketball and you're just a basketball fan, you need to click on this. You understand? If you wish that people would be accountable and stand up, play all their games, care about the fans, remember the real standards of what sports should be, what it means to be a good person, and not even just good, just stand on something. I don't expect everybody to be an angel. I don't like Kobe because he was an angel. I don't respect Jordan because he was an angel. I don't respect Tom Brady because they're angels. All right? I respect them because they stand on something, and at least they're fair. Everybody can't be good, but don't be nice. Try to be good, but somewhere in there, at least be fair. I can respect that. I can't respect manipulation and bad influences and taking shortcuts and excuses and manufactured media manipulation. I can't deal with it. So just subscribe, because this is the channel you want to be on. If all those things are important to you, if integrity and honor are important to you, hit the button. Respectfully. Please. Thank you very much. Truly appreciate you. Very humble. Kobe Bryant's Mamba Mentality influence is what we're missing. Much love.
That somehow you never get over.